Hey everyone, Harrison from the VoiceForm team here, and thanks for checking out our video on 60 of the perfect poll questions to ask teammates in 2023. So today I'll be going over a video summary of one of our most recent blog posts that you can check out on voiceform.com in our resource hub. I'll make sure that there's a link to voiceform.com or also a link to our blog in the description below this video. On a weekly basis, we're sharing awesome videos that cover best practices on how to get the most of our Survey Informs platform, VoiceForm, as well as sharing best practices and tips on how to collect amazing information from colleagues, from customers, and many more folks with our survey platform. So let's dive in. So today we'll be covering off 60 of our favorite poll questions to consider if you're going to be running a poll with new teammates or existing teammates, and you want to think of and brainstorm some questions to ask in order to break the ice and get to know more about your team members. And so again, we'll just dive right on in. And of course, one of the first things that you want to chat about when you're looking to run an icebreaker activity of some sort with your team is how to go about actually conducting the poll. And so for us, what we think is a really great way to do this is to run a survey before you're engaging with your colleagues. And of course, one of the best things that we always would recommend is to consider using VoiceForm, as our Survey Inform platform lets you leverage voice, video, and text question types in order to create a survey that feels like an awesome conversation. For example, you can ask your questions or your poll with a video question, and so that your teammates can see you asking the question and build a closer relationship with you before responding. Or of course, leverage our video questions if you prefer just to speak your questions and then have your audience respond with voice or text as well. And so again, we'll post some links to voiceform.com if you want to check that out and consider running your first icebreaker poll with VoiceForm. That'd be awesome. So now let's dive into various question types. So amongst the 60 question types that we recommend, we have a few categories. The first is icebreakers. So these are ones, so if you're going to be running an event or a meeting and you just want to get to know team members at the start of the call, you can always run a survey in advance and then share some of the fun answers that you receive along the way to the audience, or let people share on the spot as well. Everything from asking about people's favorite hobbies, asking about their favorite pets, childhood memories, favorite sport teams, etc. And again, we have a list here of over 20 questions when it comes to icebreakers that you can always ask your team. We also have meeting-specific questions. So if you're going to be running something with your colleagues, whether they be new or existing, and you want to be able to ask something that's more or has more business relevance, you can ask a series of questions in advance of the meeting, such as what are people's goals and objectives for the year? How are they feeling about the year? The macro environment that's going on, how is that playing into either their morale, their outlook on career, job opportunities, et cetera, within an organization? What are people's preferred preferences on how they want to work this year? And also highlighting what are some of the greatest achievements that the team has had so far, into the year or quarter. And those are always great questions to ask too. So here we also, in addition to icebreaker questions, have over 20 questions available to give you some inspiration on what to ask, related to more business objectives that you can share out with your team. And then lastly, another section of questions that we have is work from home questions. So we're now in an age of a lot of opportunities being taken fully remote, hybrid, or some mix and match between being in person and again, something virtual. And so we've included a number of different question types that you can ask your team in order to get a sense of how they're finding, engaging with colleagues in a remote or hybrid environment. So everything from what are their work from home, what are their work from home experiences like? What are some of their favorite work from home rituals? How do they like to work? What do they feel like they're maybe missing out on compared to maybe a more traditional in-person environment? And maybe more, what can an organization be doing to help cultivate that in a remote or hybrid setting? So we have over 20 questions as well there, covering off some really fun ways that you can engage people on your team and to send out a poll if you're working in a virtual or remote way. And so from here, I recommend you check out this blog. Hopefully it's helpful in stirring up conversations with your colleagues, both new and old, and learning something really great about how you can leverage the data collected in your survey to both promote great culture within your team and also learn something about all the colleagues that you work with. And so from there, if you have any questions, feel free to check out voiceform.com. And again, it'd be a great way for you to be able to send out your poll and collect great, rich, qualitative insight from your colleagues, leveraging our Survey Inform tool. If you have any questions, reach out, but thanks for tuning in.